Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's explore more about biomarker. I started this channel with the goal of turning complex science into fun, easy to understand concepts, and to practice my storytelling skills. If you find anything confusing or if it gets too boring with all the scientific terms, please feel free to comment so I can make it more simple or let me know. Also, if you don't mind, please like this video and follow my channel so I can keep making more videos like this. Thank you very much for your time in advance and thank you very much for watching this. Just so you know, all my genius ideas simply my take on things I've read or come across. If you see things differently, you are absolutely right with your awesome perspectives. Feel free to leave a comment and or have a chat with me. Part of my goal in starting this YouTube channel is to make new friends in this clinical or biomarker space so we can learn from each other. Last but not the least, all the material in this video is public available. Here is the quick outline for today's. We are going to start with the diagnostic biomarkers, then move on to prognostic biomarkers. So finally, we'll touch base on the predictive biomarkers. Since it may be so easy to get confused between prognostic biomarkers or predictive biomarkers, we'll go through a few examples and try to distinguish them at the end. So stay with me. First, the diagnostic biomarkers in FDA guidance is used to detect or confirm the presence of the disease or condition of interest. For example, we know if we have really high blood sugar level, can be diagnosed as diabetes. For the high blood pressure, we may be diagnosed of hypertension. For a subgroup of study, may use diagnostic biomarker as well. For example, if hemoglobin A1C, this is a gene positive detected, plus a high blood sugar level, that might be diagnosed as a type 2 diabetes. And for pregnancy, if you are pregnant and also together with a high blood sugar level, it may be get diagnosed as gestational diabetes. That's easy to understand. If you have those markers, that you highly with that disease. That is the diagnostic biomarkers. And when we talk about prognostic biomarker, it actually used to indicate an increased likelihood of a specific clinical event in an individual already diagnosed with a disease. So what does it mean? Using a type 2 diabetes as example, on the right-hand side, there's a figure from a paper. Within this group of patients, we can see if the level of the serum PCSK9 is high. So here it used 244 nanogram per milliliter as a cutoff. PCSK9, I didn't include a full name here, but it basically would be a kinase. It's a protein level in the serum. If at a high level, it's more likely have a longer survival compared to those group of patients have a higher level in their blood. So prognostic biomarker is basically without a treatment, right? It just basically further clarified under the patient who is already diagnosed with their diagnostic biomarker. Then when we talk about predictive biomarker, one is an important layer to add on is predicting the individual who are likely have a favorable or unfavorable effect from exposure to a medical product or an environment. What does it mean? meaning have a simple example on the right-hand side. We have a biomarker positive as a bright color solid line. And we can easily say both of the group is under experimental treatment. If you have a biomarker positive, you end up have a much better survival percentage compared to those have a negative. So in this way, we may argue this biomarker can predict the benefit of the treatment. However, some may argue the conclusion as a predictive biomarker may not be accurate if it doesn't have a comparing group, which is true. Why would you say that? When we add on the standard treatment group on the right-hand side, we may find the biomarker is associated with the same difference in the survival for those patients who are receiving the standard therapy. And here, the standard therapy is using the dashed line but matched color, meaning if biomarker positive, it will be black color. Biomarker negative, it will be gray color. So we can see there is not much difference between standard therapy or experiment therapy if we subclass the patient with the biomarker. So this means this biomarker is only prognostic biomarker, but it's not predictive because it cannot distinguish the treatment. Next, let's look at another example to maybe make you feel better about distinguish them. For the figure on the left-hand side, those are positive for the biomarker. They are all receiving the experimental treatment. If we only see the experimental treatment alone, it doesn't seem like have any effect of the drug, both biomarker positive or negative group. However, if we add the standard treatment group, which is the dot dash line, we can see the dash red line is the biomarker positive standard treatment have the poorest survival. When it's a negative, biomarker negative, those patients already have a better survival. What's the meaning point of this graph is actually for those patients who is biomarker positive. It actually getting better survival if they receive the experimental treatments, right? So in this case, actually, this biomarker will be characterized as a prognostic negatively correlated to correlated to the disease, and it is predictive to the experimental treatment because once you have this biomarker positive, you better to be prescribed an experimental treatment instead of a standard treatment. Does it make sense? Next, I would like to talk about two more comprehensive examples where, in my opinion, they bring the true value of the biomarker study in a clinical setting. So, assuming that patients have been randomized to the experimental and standard therapy, dashed line again are from standard therapy, and bright color are biomarker positive group. Grade 1 is for biomarker negative. Within each biomarker subgroup on the left-hand side, we can see the survival is substantially longer for patients who receive the experimental therapy, right? both solid line is on top, meaning you have a better survival percentage. There's a magnitude of increase of the survival for those receiving experimental therapy indicate this experimental therapy works better in both groups, no matter the biomarker positive or negative. But when we have a patient have a biomarker positive, achieve the best income. In this case, the new therapy may be recommended to replace the standard one, regardless whether they are biomarker positive or negative. However, on the other case, if for the patient who are positive for the biomarker, survival is better than their negative group. But if the patient group is biomarker negative, you can see the standard treatment actually have a better survival range than the experimental therapy. So in this case, what we can see is in a real case, the biomarker test will be recommended for a physician before prescribing the drug, before enrolling the patient in the standard therapy or the experimental therapy. So this comes to the real value why we want to do biomarker study in a clinical setting. So then here come to the end of my video today. We are less learn about biomarker. Feel free to leave me any comments for the topic you want to hear, or just simply like or follow. Thank you very much.